Yo, what's up, wrestling fans? It's your boy E here with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. So, recently, our segment one, we talked about our Thursday night wrestling review, which consists of Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor. And next, we're going to go ahead and jump into the WWE SmackDown preview. We have a pretty awesome SmackDown. I can't wait to watch it. Like I said before, I have not watched, I deleted not deleted. You know how like you have apps on your phone. You have apps on your phone. I deleted Instagram and X as well as Facebook, and I was like, you know what? I gotta be real with these people. I can't straight up be like, I know who's going to be drafted, so I can like kind of play to my advantage and absolutely look smart as heck. Oh, so smart. No, I'm just kidding. No. Like, honestly, I want to be stuck in that boat with you guys. Like, I know some of you guys probably have SmackDown going on right meow. Oh God, I want to watch it so bad. But let's go ahead and get through this absolutely together. And let's do it together, you and I. But before we move forward with anything, I want to remind you guys that we get a number of questions from viewers like you that come in during the show. So to ensure that your question gets read on air in front of the world, I ask you guys to use the Tips of the Nations link at the GSMCpodcast.net with your questions. Let's put your questions up on top so I can see it, so we can talk about it. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. This also really helps the show. A little positive review, a little criticism is always good. Absolutely all the time. But at the GSMC Sports Network, we love peace, love, and positivity all the way, baby. So once again, it really helps the show. And again, the link is the GSMC podcast.net. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump on right on into this WWE SmackDown preview. Obviously, you can't really do much of a preview not really knowing who's going to be on SmackDown next week. Review what you can and you can't. Absolutely 100%. But I feel like this WWE draft is going to be bigger than any draft in the past. And I'm pretty excited. We're at the Heritage Bank Center in Cincinnati, Ohio. Something besides the WWE draft, we have AJ Styles. The phenomenal AJ Styles is going to sign a contract with Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship match at Backlash in Berlin, which is pretty exciting. I can't wait to see what they do with that. Obviously, I feel like Cody's going to keep the strap, but I feel like AJ is going to put up one hell of a match, and I absolutely 100% think that AJ Styles is going to be drafted to SmackDown to kind of keep that rivalry going. I hopefully, like I said, I haven't watched anything. Hopefully, I think that the OC is going to join him just so they kind of bring those guys back together. Like when AJ Styles kind of went, haywire and was threatening Carl Anderson, Meechin and Luke Gallows were kind of like, hey, like, what are you doing, man? We're together. We're the good, we're the good guys, basically. And so I definitely hope that AJ Styles finds his way back into that crew because I think ultimately it would be a lot better for wrestling for that to, act. Going to sign that contract tonight. Have, Stratton totally demolished Naomi and Bailey in last week's SmackDown, so I feel like they're gonna address that. I know under draft rules that there's certain things that can't happen. Like I said, for the rules for the draft, the champions on each brand are protected. So Jamie Priest, Becky Lynch, Awesome Truth, Sami Zayn will remain on Raw. Cody Rhodes, Bailey, A-Town Down, and Logan Paul will remain on SmackDown. Even though their status as champions allow them to go to both brands, WWE SmackDown champions Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, are eligible to be drafted, which is honestly, I think that's pretty big. Will they have a transitional champion, kind of like a Raw and SmackDown Women's World Tag Team Champions? I highly doubt it. I really do because they got rid of that as soon as Paul Levesque kind of took over as a WWE creative officer, and it's crazy how the whole thing just kind of came about. Absolutely. Vince McMahon was all haywire for, okay, we need a Raw tag team champion. We need a Raw women's champion. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just, having things kind of come together. And just, they do this with wordplay. With wordplay, the Raw champion is the world heavyweight champion, and the SmackDown champion is the WWE champion. I kind of like it how they kind of got rid of the colored belts. Hot take. I thought those blue belts and red belts were absolutely terrible. Absolutely awful. They were awful. Like, come on. Like, I know the belts, they deserve to be like, you know, represented to the brand, but then again, they were just ugly, man. Absolutely ugly. So I'm glad that Triple H got rid of those ASAP. And I kind of like it how he got rid of the brand in the name of the title, like Raw this, SmackDown that, just so it's like universal. Now, you don't really know what's going to happen. Maybe the World's Heavyweight Champion will find himself at NXT. Maybe the World Tag Team Champions find themselves on, well, o- obviously they're protected, but I'm just talking about in the future. In the future, where I feel like since the champions are now protected, it's kind of it's kind of fair game. I feel like Triple H, like he kind of has that forbidden door, kind of like what AEW is and Impact Wrestling is, and he's gonna take advantage of that because people want to see that. People want to see people jump across brands to fight each other and try to take someone out. And like I said before, like if WCW and WWE, once when Vince McMahon bought the company, why did they have to announce it? Why did they have to be like, well, obviously because of Vince's ego, but why couldn't they just keep WCW as a brand, invade WWF, and everyone's like, what the hell? Like, did you see Sting take out Triple H? Like, what is happening? Like, definitely, I think something like that, definitely you kind of have to play that sleight of hand as an entertainer, as a promotion, and definitely as someone trying to bring fans in for more and more ticket sales. So definitely WWE, this is big. That's why I keep reiterating that this is probably the biggest draft in WWE history. Obviously, this is Paul Levesque's first crack at the WWE draft. So this is going to be big. This is going to be really, really big. And, I can't wait to watch it. Can't wait to watch it. But I'm here with you, beautiful people. I prefer to be here with you, beautiful people, to be honest. I know I seem a little excited, but anyways. Friday Night Smackdown will feature 4 rounds. The picks are announced. Each round will consist of brands making 2 picks apiece, a total of 16 picks, 8 for SmackDown, 8 for Raw. Monday Night Raw, 6 rounds drafted. Monday Night Raw gets the first pick, 2 picks apiece, same thing, a total of 24 picks. And I don't know, it's pretty crazy. I kind of, I don't know if it's a little more advantageous, that SmackDown does have the first pick because I kind of anticipate what they want to do. Honestly, what I want to do. I have a list of available superstars. Obviously, NXT is going to be able to be drafted to any one show. So I kind of want to jump into maybe a few mock draft picks. Just so just kind of warm you guys up. Those who are stuck with me and have not watched SmackDown at all, I have no idea who picked who. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and do this, man. Let's go ahead and make this happen. Little mock draft here. Nothing wrong with the little mock draft. So we have SmackDown. SmackDown, absolutely 110% on the clock. So at SmackDown, I feel like the number one pick will be the Bloodline. And that's not surprising. Honestly, you kind of have the Bloodline. They're kind of over right now. I know that it's kind of crazy how they were like, yeah, let's consist everyone into the Bloodline because I felt like since WWE said that Roman Reigns is kind of out indefinitely, I thought that it meant that maybe he can't be drafted, meaning that he's not really pledged to either show. So he can kind of, when he comes back, he can absolutely demolish and go after any title that he was, looking forward to. But, and then last Friday Night SmackDown, you had Nick Aldis kind of be like, look, like Paul Heyman, keep your guys in check. Because this show isn't about crashing cars in the parking lot. This show isn't about, you know, causing people to bleed and suffer. This show is, we settle it in the ring. We settle it in the ring, and I know, Solo Sikoa's at MFT, and then I thought Jacob Fatu was going to make an appearance, but I recently found out a couple days ago that he's going to make his debut next week on either brand. And imagine he's saying this, and he made it, he completely made his debut, and I'm like, oh, like this. See, the guys, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But with the first pick for SmackDown, I'm going to pick the Bloodline. All right, so that brings us to our next pick. And by all means, like I said before, and I keep reiterating, I have not watched a single shred. I think Raw is going to pick for the first round. I can see them picking God, there's so much. I can see the pick of Randy Orton. I'm going to say Randy Orton is going to be Raw's first pick because he's the legend killer. He's the man. He can you could put a storyline around him basically anywhere. And that's kind of the luxury that you have with wrestlers like Rhea Ripley, uh, Randy Orton, is because they're not necessarily heels, but then again, they're not necessarily baby faces. They're kind of like those guys out there to kind of fight for their own, they're for their own glory. I'm out there for my personal, I'm out there for my family. Like, I love pandering to the crowd here and there, but I'm not going to make a living out of it. So, Randy Orton goes to Monday Night Raw. SmackDown's next pick, I think that they're going to. You obviously have the bloodline. I think they're going to pick AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles is going to go in the next pick, obviously, because you have him fighting Cody Rhodes at WWE Backlash in Berlin. So it would kind of make no sense. Honestly, I would love to see AJ Styles get signed again. Recently, it's been confirmed that he has not signed a new deal yet. I would honestly love to see him go back to SmackDown. I kind of have this ongoing feud with Cody Rhodes for for quite a bit. For quite a bit. Next we have Raw. Raw is on the clock. Who is Raw? Is who? I think that Raw will choose the LA Knight. The LA Knight, it's about time for a new change. He's been broadcasted on WWE SmackDown Solamente for a long time. I think him jumping into Raw will help boost his numbers for one, boost Raw's numbers, and also just kind of give him a different, different feel. I can kind of see Finn Balor and the Judgment Day kind of having their Civil War, and then whoever comes out of that, perhaps you have a match at SummerSlam with the LA Knight. Honestly, I think that would make a lot of money. I think that's a pretty moneyball idea right there. So honestly, with Raw's pick, with their second pick, I think they're going to pick the LA Knight. All right, so we have pick number 3 for Raw. Honestly, Raw is this is where I feel like where you're finally going to see NXT kind of make a jump into this SmackDown. I think Braun Breaker. I'm going to pick Braun Breaker. He's an amazing superstar. He's main event caliber kind of talent. Obviously, I think 1,010%. I can kind of see Braun Breaker kind of come to SmackDown kind of. I really honestly hope he doesn't have a squash match because I don't believe in squash matches in professional wrestling. I kind of hate them. I kind of think it's stupid. But hopefully he doesn't have a squash match. But hey, honestly, anything can happen. All right, so we have Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw is on the clock for their third pick. Oh man, this is kind of getting to the knee nitty gritty here. I'm gonna go ahead and I know this might be a jump. I really honestly might think that this is a jump, basically thinking that the WWE World Tag Team titles are obviously in jeopardy from the Kabuki Warriors. But I don't know where they're going to go. But honestly, if I was Raw, I would 110% pick Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is an amazing athlete. She's very, very talented. And like I said before, I think that she's going to be able to kind of be like that brand name, kind of like Becky Lynch was. Basically, kind of like what I don't want, obviously divas and wrestlers are now different. All those divas back in the WWF days deserved a lot of more, you know, basically a lot more respect. So you have Bianca Belair so over right now. The people love her. Absolutely 110%. I love her. And I'm sure all you guys love her as well because when she's in a match, you can kind of look at the match card and be like, I want to watch that match. I want to watch that match between Bianca Belair and whoever she's fighting. She can be fighting anybody, absolutely anybody. She could be fighting a mascot like the Philly Fanatic from the Phillies, and you'd be like, dude, I want to see that. So I'm gonna pick Bianca Belair here. Definitely 110% thinking that she's probably going to be the next one to challenge Becky Lynch. You saw Rhea Ripley leaving Raw, so you kind of need that, kind of like that backbone. So yeah, I can see her kind of going there. Next we have God, who's going to be on SmackDown? SmackDown, and I know we're kind of going a little over here. I doubt that they would draft Jey Uso basically on the information that because the bloodline is on there. But honestly, I think they picked Sheamus. Sheamus recently came out. He's looking good. He lost like when he first returned, he kind of looked like he had a little bit of like kind of looked bulky and kind of looked like he had a belly. But within that week, man, that guy looked like he lost some pounds. Man, where's his dietitian at? Where's his workout plan? Like, dude, help me out, man. I got that dad bod going on. It's cool because dad bods are now cool. Hopefully, y'all are dads that are watching me are like, yeah, like let's stick together. No, but like, honestly, I think it's 110% thinking. I honestly hope that Sheamus lands on Friday Night Smackdown you know, um, because Drew McIntyre, honestly, I was kind of thinking after what happened on Monday Night Raw that Drew McIntyre and Sheamus will eventually kind of go back at it with the King of the Ring or perhaps like maybe a title bout within the future. But as of right now, I think Sheamus would be pretty good on SmackDown. So, like I said before, we're kind of running out of time on this segment, although I would love to just, talk WWE draft with you guys the whole time. So honestly, with my final pick for Raw, I'm gonna go ahead and pick. Mm, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Jay Uso. Jay Uso, like I said before, I feel like he cannot be on WWE SmackDown because of the bloodline. Because I would believe it so. I would believe it so if Jimmy wasn't injured and Jimmy is not listed on the available draft pool on Friday or Monday. Not at all. And I kind of hope that they, eventually kind of come back together to kind of start this bloodline civil war that I've been trying to fight for this whole entire time. I know a lot of you guys want to see that as well, which would be pretty dope. But I see Jey Uso landing on Monday Night Raw again. And Friday Night SmackDown's last pick. Oh man, we have so many so many, and the NXT stars are available. If y'all in chat could help me make a pick for Friday Night SmackDown, that'd be awesome. Remember the tips and donations link at gsmcpodcast.net. Shoots. I think their last pick tonight is going to be. I'll pick Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins will wind up on WWE SmackDown. He probably could have been drafted on Raw and have no idea that it happened. I might look like a complete idiot. But honestly, I think Seth Rollins coming to SmackDown just makes a lot more sense. He's going to be out with his knee injury for quite a long time, 3 months tops. But honestly, on Raw already, the superstars that they have, Damian Priest, Finn Balor. I just think he fought them already. I think he's already fought them, and I think that it's time for him to kind of make a difference. It's time for him to kind of go up and kind of move on to bigger and better things. I think that Seth Rollins would be pretty awesome on SmackDown. Basically, anywhere he goes would be pretty awesome. Honestly, Jordan Kirby. I feel like Julia, I think it's Julia you pronounce it. She was signed to a contract to WWE NXT from what I've heard, and I guess that she's going to make her debut in NXT on July. But if she's drafted, honestly, she's a huge talent. She's a huge talent coming from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and 1,010%. She would be absolutely pivotal and an absolute player on any brand that would decide to draft her. So yes, that would be an amazing pick anywhere she goes. So 1,010%. I love that. I love that take. Keep sending more. Keep sending more. I love chatting with you guys. So yeah, just keep them coming. So as awesome and cool as this has been for me, we kind of have to move on here. Our segment 3, we're going to talk about Vince McMahon. We're going to talk about Vince McMahon planning on a possible wrestling return. It's been rumored that he's been in talks with Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett is the head of the GFW, the Global Force Wrestling promotion. Is Vince McMahon done with wrestling? As of right now, and after everything that's been going on with the lawsuit, I would think he would be. But then again, Vince McMahon's ego, I don't think he's willing to leave on any other terms other than himself. So, hey, I'll be right back.